What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my tiny garage. My name is Jared, and on my bench today we have a customer drop-off. This is a tractor PTO, something you would use on like a bush hog or some type of rear tiller, something like that. And we have a little bit of an accident here. You can see this is supposed to be straight, and it is not straight anymore. Today's project, we have a new guard to put on it. We got a new shaft here for it, and it looks like we're going to try to reuse the cross bearing on this. It looks like that's going to be okay yet. So our job is to flip the cross bearing over to our new shaft and yoke, put on the new guard, and hopefully they should be good to go again. So let's go ahead and jump on in and see if we can't get this bearing out of here. So in here on our yoke, there are snap rings. They keep the bearing cups in there. So we don't need to take out this side because this side's still good. We're not going to be replacing this. We are going to be replacing the main shaft. So we do want to try to take out the snap rings here on each of this side's bearing cups. So let me grab like a small ball peen hammer. And we're just going to try to tap that cup down just a little bit. And that will hopefully loosen up that snap ring enough that we'll be able to pull it out. There we go. One side out. See if we can get the other side out of here. There we go. And there's side two. Now what we should hopefully be able to do is to drive these bearing cups out. So the easiest way to do that is to take a socket. It's about the same size. And tap it through. Now the way this shaft is bent, we can try doing it that way. We'll try that. We should just be able to tap it out the other direction. Looks like it's moving. See our cup's starting to come out the other side. Looks like we'll get it without too much trouble. Sometimes they can cause a fight if they're rusted in there, but this one here looks like it's going to come out pretty easy. Now there's a bunch of little needle bearings in here, so we want to be careful that we don't shoot them across the shop floor. So we're just going to very gently tap. So it seems like we're going to get it out. Get a little block of wood here and see if we can't hold that up a little bit better. Starting to run into our tabletop. We all but got it though. I don't really need too much more by the looks of it. Just a few more taps should do it. Okay, I think we might have it there. So now we take a pair of pliers or channel locks and see if we can't pull this bearing cup out of here without scratching it. Nope. Doesn't look like it's going to want to come. Looks like we're pretty well tapped out of there. Let's get this turned on a different angle and see if I can't get some better leverage on it. It's wanting to move. A little bit bigger pair of channel locks. See if we can't. Yeah, it's still not wanting to pull out of there very well. try going back the other way with it. There we go. We're able to pull that cap off. It's probably going to be very hard to see, but inside there's little needle bearings. You don't want to lose them. So let's set this cap off to the side. And now it should all just pull right out of there like that. So there we got our end. Got our new parts here. Them all opened up. Looks like our shaft is going to be the same as our old one, same shape. Then we just pretty much do the exact reverse of what we just did. It helps. We put a little bit of grease in it first. So I'm just going to take a little bit of bearing grease. I'm just going to kind of put a little bit on the inside of our area where the bearings are going to be driven into. Help things slide just a little bit easier. Then from there, we just kind of put things in the reverse of the way they came out. So we'll get our bearing worked in. Everything kind of worked into place, like so. We'll take our bearing cup that we took out and slide it onto there like that. Now we can go ahead and tap it into place, and we want to make sure that under here that everything's lined up and that it's going to go into place. How's everything looking? Looks like it started in. Everything looks pretty good. So now we can take our socket and continue to drive this into place. Everything's looking good. Need to go just a little bit more yet. Getting close on this side. This side just needs to go just a little bit more yet till we can see their groove to get our snap ring in. There we go. It feels like it dropped. Yeah. So it dropped through. And then this side started to come out. So we'll just tap this back. There we go. Yeah, so that's about where we like it. So let's go ahead and put the snap ring in over here on this side. And then we can tap it back the other way then to give us room to put the snap ring in on the other side. There we go. Snap ring's in the groove on that side. Now we go back over here and we tap this down in. We don't want to bend that snap ring, so we just want to go far enough so we can get it in the groove. Looks like we're set against this side pretty tight. I might be able to get it in there, take another snap or two at it. Okay. And up and over here, take our other snap ring, and we should be pretty well ready then to throw this into place. Just go through and make sure that is pushed into the groove. Sometimes a little screwdriver just to ensure that it is in, or a punch. There we go. Now it's in for sure. I just took the socket around, and since the socket's the same size as the snap ring itself, that worked out pretty nicely. Just tap it right on the snap ring, and that jarring pushed our bearing cap down in enough to seat our snap ring in there. So I can see that our snap ring is now set on both sides, confirmed it's in the groove. Okay, everything bends the way it should. Just needs a little bit of grease in there, obviously. But everything works and turns exactly the way it should. We just have our guard to slide on into place then, and that guard latches right here on this groove. And our coupler is this white plastic piece in here. So it's usually easier that we slide that out first. So we got to press in our plastic tabs, which will then release our coupler out of here, and then we can clamp that, clip it onto our shaft, and slide our guard on from there. So let's see how easily this wants to come out of here. Here's one. I'm just using a screwdriver to press in these tabs. Okay, here we go. Got our ring out. So we should be able to slide this ring onto our main shaft. And this should just clip like that. In and around our joint. Now, they give us a hole right here for our grease zerk. So we want to make sure that when this coupling slides on, that it's lined up with our grease zerk. So, slide this in here. And it looks like about there should pretty well do it for us. Get this all lined up. It should just well press right into place like so. There we go. That actually works out pretty good because our grease fitting ended up being way out here. So we didn't even need that hole, but that's great. Everything's clipped in now. Taking a look on the inside. This side over here is not clipped in yet. So I'm going to stand it up on the floor here real fast and kind of push that clip into place. There we go. Snapped in. Perfect. So our guard is in place. Our new shaft is installed. and they should be ready to go again. So I guess the final thing that we'll do is we'll grab our grease gun and put some grease in here for them. Thing looks like it's all right. See grease coming out of all the places that it should. So get all that excess grease cleaned up. All that old grease we pushed out. And I think we should be pretty well good to go from there. Everything looks good. It's important to wipe off your grease fittings. They attract dust. Grease, of course, attracts the dust and just gives you a whole bunch of problems in the long run. So while you're here, just when you're done greasing, wipe them off. You'll be better for it later. Alright. Everything seems like it's going to work out just fine. Nice and smooth. Not a lot of grease slopping around back in there. And I think that we're pretty well good to go there. All right, with that, I think we are all good to go there. We got our new PTO shaft on for them. The bearings seem to be fine. Everything is loose and operational as it should be. So there we go. That one is ready to go back on the machine. And this one is ready for the junk pile. So that being said, it's all I really got for this one. Just a little shorter and quick one for you. Thought you might enjoy seeing how to change the bearings. You follow the same examples I just did there if you were going to replace those cross bearings. This works for, of course, vehicle drive lines, anything that has a cross bearing in it, you do the exact same way. We only did one side, but you'd follow the same standard and do both sides if that you're going to do and replace it. So hopefully some of you found this useful, good knowledge to know, and any questions, comments, maybe a better way to do it, drop it down in the comments below. Be glad to hear from you. With that being said, off to get this to the customer, so we will see you in the next one.